Hey, what's up guys? I'm about to do this little vocal warm-up here. I'm going to start with some track and release, some track and then do some track and release. The main goal here is to get my voice out of speech mode and into twang mode. Start right around F3 here. The real key here is to keep my phonation high. I'm not down here, I'm not woofy, I'm not breathy, I'm not breathing like this. I'm nice and high. I have a light mass phonation that's with a high placement. I'm resonating those getting real buzzy and nasally with it. It's up here. Have a good embouchure. And as I'm up there, I'm adjusting the track, the compression here, to make sure I'm fine-tuning it, to make sure it's not too heavy and not too light. I'm getting a good balance between a light mass and a heavy mass. If it gets too heavy, it starts to grind too much, and then you'll start to feel some choking and stuff going on down here. The key is all of this needs to be relaxed. I'm relaxing into that track. I like to go kind of high with the track, just to feel out that certain area there where I feel the buzzing and resonance comes from in the forward in the mask area, and there's no tension down here whatsoever. And as I get higher in there, I'm using more of the hum toward the back, resonating more towards the back to get that, to make it easier. When you get higher and higher, it helps to actually put a little respiration behind it. You know, the hum, hum. like to do is roll it back and forth from the hung to the hun to the hum. And roll it back and forth and get used to that. And up on this, we're at what, A4 here. It gets kind of tough. We're totally up in my head voice right now, and I'm trying to keep it a light mass and come in at it from a different angle and get that vocal fold closure. Almost coming in, it's like coming in from a falsetto voice, but we're anchoring into that that resonant tracking. So I come in with a breathy, almost like a falsetto, like, and then I lean into it, into that nasal consonant with either the hum, the hun, or the hung. The hung, when you're up so high, is usually a lot easier. So that's where I try to come in with that NG. And then just try to make it more toward the N. And see, as I relax into that, it helps to kind of relax into the N to bring it more forward into the mask. We're up at B4 here. C5. And that one, it actually helps to push more into that N to get that vocal fold closure that I'm looking for. Because up here it's real breathy. But if I can lean into that N to get that resonant tracking going, it helps anchor that. And when we go to release it later on, you'll see. And when I try to do a track and release, if you don't have that anchor in place, if you don't have that buzz going on, it's going to fall apart. This is where we get in that track and release onset. Is really going to help you out. And so we're just doing warm-up, so I'm not going to push my voice much higher than that D5 right now, because we're just warming up. Again, you don't want to blow out your vocal cords in the warm-up phase, okay? I'm going to go back down, and we're going to do some track and release. So track and release, again, step one, you got to match the pitch. You got to hear it. You got to visualize it in your head. However you see it is up to you. Okay, everybody's going to see it a little bit differently, but you want to see it in your mind's eye. To me, it's almost like a pinpoint of light. Each note has its own sort of wavelength, and if you can just focus on it, it's easier to hit. So you got to match the pitch. Then you got to have good respiration. So you want to be nice and relaxed. Deep breath, relax your shoulders, let your diaphragm do some work here. And get some good respiration behind it. And then we're going to relax into the buzzing consonant, the hun, hum, or the hung. And once we feel around just for a second, feel around, get a good placement. Once you have that good, when you can pinpoint that vibration where it's happening. If you're going hum, get a little smirky, make sure your lips are buzzing and feel that vibration. If you're doing the hun, then tongue is behind the upper teeth, and you should feel that buzz right behind your teeth. Hun, pinpoint it. When you can find one little spot where it resonates, then you've got it. You've anchored it. If you're going for the hung, it's going to be back toward the rear of your upper palate. Hung. Hung. Notice my embouchure. Jaw drops. Upper canine incisors exposed. This is getting all this intrinsic musculature anchored in the proper position and nice and relaxed, so that everything we do from here on out is going to be in proper placement. This onset, it's all about the onset. If the onset is good, then the singing that follows it has a great chance of being good as well. If the onset's bad, poor onset, whatever follows it, it's most likely going to fall apart. So, track and release, match the pitch, respiration, buzz into the consonant, and then we're going to release into the best one for beginners, the A. And as I release into that singing vowel, I'm then going to tune the formant. I'm going to add some larynx dampening to color the sound, and I'm going to fine tune that pitch. I'm going to try to experiment to get different sound colors. If I want a bright metallic-y, sound, then I'm going to buzz into it and squeeze it a little bit harder, get a tighter compression. If I want to make it nice and operatic and smooth, I'm going to dampen the larynx a little bit and widen up that vowel a little bit and go from more about more toward the A, widening things out here. If I want to tighten up, I could go more towards an yeah. As I go that widens it up and makes a more wider, woodier tone. All throughout here, I'm keeping a high placement up here, kind of nasally, because I don't want to get locked into this woofiness, and I want to be down here and breathing from my chest and going, because then you're going to get stuck. What we want to be able to do is transition all the way from these low notes up to the higher notes. So that's why we get into this crying vocal mode. You kind of act like you're crying into it. It gets your formant into the correct position. Now my voice has been kind of rough lately. I had a terrible sinus infection that's had me down for about a month. So my voice is a little bit rough. But this resonant tracking is therapeutic. It's actually helping repair those vocal cords. So I'm taking it nice and light. I'm doing a light phonation, and I'm fine-tuning it. I'm feeling out, you know, to carve that groove back in. So I'm working it. Once I release it into that A, I don't just say, okay, it's good. No, I try to fine-tune it. Add a little more compression, you know, dampen the larynx, widen the vowel, narrow the vowel. I'm experimenting, making minute adjustments. And okay, now I'm approaching the Passaggio here. I'm up here at around, this is E flat 4, and I'm getting up into this area between E flat 4 and F sharp is right around where my Passaggio is here, so it's going to get a little bit tougher. And this is where I have to kind of experiment, rolling back towards the and singing more deeply, getting the changing that edging vowel, which is the A, forward mask resonating vowel. I'm going to change that to more of a curve, push it back toward the rear of my palate, because I'm going to keep these light. I'm going to keep these up here. I don't want to keep them down here. There shouldn't be any tension going on at this point down here in our throats. Everything should be nice and relaxed. When we do the strength training exercises, then you'll start to feel some of these muscles working. But right now, I'm trying to stay up in a track, a resonant tracking position. Twang vocal mode. I want that twang. This is the good health. This is what's carving in that smoothness and allows us to make a nice tight phonation. Now, if we have good respiration and it's nice and light mask and everything's flowing just right, it'll be real easy to get a little bit of a flutter there going on there, a little vibrato. It's always a good sign. Experiment with that one a little bit, because that's right up. This is the Passaggio right here. This is the point where my voice is like, do I come in at it from a head voice? Do I come in from a chest voice? Do I, take a crack at falsetto? It's really unsure right here. So this is where we kind of got to play around with it and start to roll things back and forth, because we want one smooth voice all the way through here. See, at this point, F sharp is where I come in at it from a different angle. I almost come in it from a full-on head voice this time, the head voice coloration. If I tried to do it from a chest voice, it would sound more like this. There's not as much stability there for me, because it's this upper range of my Passaggio right here. And also because I'm coming off from the sickness. If my voice was 100%, I could try definitely taking some chest voice in here and stretching it out a bit. But instead, I'm gonna take it easy on my throat. Don't want to cause any damage here, so I'm gonna start with a head voice up here. Nice and light, high placement, cry vocal mode still. kind of rough. I didn't have enough compression going on up there. I didn't get that spot like I wanted to. Because I didn't have the right placement up here, it wanted to kind of blow open a little bit. So what I need to do is I need to build up some strength again, and we'll talk about quack and release later on, but that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit some quack and release to help build that strength, the TA muscles, keep them together. Alright, that's high enough for now. I got my vocal cords warmed up. Again, just coming off the sickness, I don't want to push my voice too hard. We'll take it easy. Alright. And then next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little quack and release going on here to a little strength training exercises. Now that my vocal cords are warmed up a little bit, I'm going to squeeze them a little bit harder. Same as the track and release at the beginning. Match the pitch, respirate into it, get the resonant tracking going on with that hum and then I'm just going to do a hyper compressed again, it's going to be real buzzy, real nasally, real bright and metallic sounding. I want it nice and tight. I'm going to squeeze it. This is like doing a concentration curl where, you know, you can take a light weight and you're doing bicep curls, but if you really focus on it and concentrate and squeeze that muscle, you're going to get a lot out of it. So that 10 reps might feel like 20 reps. See what I did there? Again, match the pitch, get some respiration, resonant track, and then go to high compressed. But I want that to have a pinpoint placement. So I'm rolling it around a little bit, feeling it out so that I can pinpoint where that's resonating up in my palate. And it could be different for each person. But for me, I could feel it when it's a nice, good, solid formant. When I have a nice solid anchor, then I go ahead and squeeze it out and release it. And once I squeeze it out and do the as I release it, I'm working to dampen that larynx. I'm leveraging the tongue against the bottom teeth. And then that helps the whole larynx to drop down just a bit, and it gives it that darker sound color. Just like that. I'm approaching the Passaggio now, so what I'm doing is I'm adjusting that up a little bit higher, a lighter, higher placement, up towards the mask. And I want more buzziness, more nasal quality. And I'm exaggerating all of this because this is training. I'm training now. This is a workout. So I want to exaggerate, and I want to get super twangy. I want to get super bright and metallic. And when you go to sing, when you're actually singing, it's only going to help. You won't have to sing all, you know, bright and nasally. But if you do this while you're training, it's going to help you. Okay, I'm up there. This is the Passaggio, so it's a lot tougher now. I really got to work these TA muscles to hold it together if I'm going to use chest voice and pull it up. So there's larynx dampening going on right from the get-go. I'm doing a little bit of larynx dampening to hold it together. I could even try a dampen release onset here to hold it together if I wanted to. More plosive, like sometimes that helps to hold it together. Do the plosive, it just gets your larynx just dampened just a little bit. Add stability to it. And I'm just doing a quick little so here's where I gotta transition. You know, if I try to do this with chesty voice, I'm gonna be like it's very constrict and very tight. You can do it, but there's not a lot of room to move there. So what I want to do is start to transition into the head voice so that to make it more smooth. If I try to move down with my head voice, now I'm pulling head voice down. So again, this is when you work on a bridging and connecting exercise, you'll begin to develop this more intuitive approach, where you'll begin to know when exactly do you transition the different kind of placement. Again, my voice is a little bit weak, so I'm going to do more of a curbing vowel. I'm going to turn it more into the ashness. It's not so eh, it's more of a more of an ashness like cat. More of the hum. Get more respiration behind it too if you struggle towards those high notes. Okay. That's it for the warm-up today. Do a real simple warm-up. Like I said, we won't get too in-depth, but typically if I haven't been singing in a while, or I'm recovering from an illness, that's what I'll stick to. I'll do a resonant tracking, single notes, one step at a time, all the way up, usually starting around F3 and working my way up somewhere up to E4, F4. Just do one octave. All right, that's it for the warm-up session. Thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. And I wish you the best of luck. Keep singing.